The title of this short video is called Community Conservation Champions of the Huon Peninsula, a model for community-based conservation in Papua New Guinea. Papua New Guinea's Huon Peninsula in Morobe province is an extremely rugged mountainous area rising from the famed Coral Triangle to 4,000 meter peaks and blanketed in one of the world's largest remaining cloud forests. The peninsula's Yopno Urua Som, or Yus for short, region is dotted with 50 remote villages home to 15,000 people who, under Papua New Guinea's customary land tenure system, collectively own and control their entire 1,600 square kilometer landscape, which is located at the back of this range of mountains here. These communities live a primarily subsistence lifestyle, relying on their natural resources and fertile soil just as their ancestors did for generations before them. However, community leaders in Yus noticed worrying challenges that previous generations had never experienced. Important resources were becoming scarce. As expressed by Matthew Tombe of Isan Village Yus, and I quote, "Our hunters had to travel longer distances to find animals in the forests. Sometimes we had to hunt in the areas belonging to other clans without their consent because we could not find enough in our traditional land to feed our families." End of quote. The landowners of Yus were determined to find a lasting solution, and in 1996 met Dr. Lisa Dabek, an American conservation biologist studying the endangered Matches tree kangaroo, endemic to the Huon Peninsula. Despite diverse perspectives and interests, they discovered a common objective: protecting the Matches tree kangaroo and its habitat. With this partnership, the Tree Kangaroo Conservation Program was born. Over the years that followed, the Yus landowners, inspired by respected landowner Mambawe Manaono of Kambul village, traversed their landscape to advocate for conservation and sustainable use of their forests for the well-being of future generations. Together with the Tree Kangaroo Conservation Program, the landowners had an ambitious goal: collecting land pledges from dozens of clans across Yus and creating the country's first nationally recognized conservation area. In 2009, with more than 78 hectares of land pledged, their goal was achieved and the Yus Conservation Area was established. Matthew Tombe of Isan Village goes on to say, and I quote, "With the creation of the Yus Conservation Area and the support for conservation throughout Yus, I am seeing a huge change. I am seeing animals just on the edges of the villages, the gardens, and even within village boundaries. More and more Yus clans are pledging areas of their customary land for conservation so that they can contribute and benefit from these changes as well." End of quote. In the decade that followed, the Tree Kangaroo Conservation Program and the Yus Conservation Area have become a national model for conservation within the unique context of Papua New Guinea's customary land tenure system. With support from Global Environment Facility through the United Nations Development Program, the Tree Kangaroo Conservation Program is building the capacity of local communities and other stakeholders to manage the Yus Conservation Area and responding to community needs, including sustainable livelihoods, education, and an integrated One Health approach, maintaining the health of the environment, the wildlife, and its people. As this well-respected mother, Annie Ogate of Yawan Village Yus states, and I quote, "Before the Tree Kangaroo Conservation Program's Yus Conservation Coffee Project, we never got such good prices for our coffee. Families who have kids in school see this as an opportunity to offset the school fees from what we earn. This is such a big relief. In addition to the benefits for conservation, I can see parents now able to afford new clothes for their kids to wear to school. And families can even earn enough to keep small savings which are invested into equipment and materials for next year's harvest. End of quote. The youth conservation area is working. The forest and ecosystems are healthy. Key species like the Meches tree kangaroo are thriving in the protected areas. The people of Youth are also benefiting from their actions, which have brought sustainable improvements to local livelihoods as well as new opportunities for education and health. Now a little bit about the Tree Kangaroo Conservation Program. The Tree Kangaroo Conservation Program was launched in Papua New Guinea in 1996, primarily to conduct research on the endemic and endangered Meches tree kangaroo, a conservation flagship species. Under Papua New Guinea's customary land tenure system, local people own and control over 90% of the land. This means that long-term habitat protection relies on the commitment and participation of local communities who depend on these ecosystems for their products for their livelihood. And their products for their livelihoods. In 2009, the Tree Kangaroo Conservation Program, together with local landowners, the government of Papua New Guinea, and many other partners, helped to establish the country's first nationally protected conservation area in use. In use watershed areas on the Huon Peninsula. This was the first protected area of its type in Papua New Guinea. It is wholly owned by local clans. To ensure effectiveness of the conservation area, the Tree Kangaroo Conservation Program partners with and builds the capacity of community-based youth conservation organization and a team of community rangers who patrol the area on a monthly basis. It also collaborates with communities to address local needs, including sustainable resource management, livelihoods, education, and access to health information and services. Since the creation of the Youth Conservation Area in 2009, the Tree Kangaroo Conservation Program has expanded from its mountainous roots to embrace a broad landscape approach, including marine and coastal reef ecosystems and associated coastal agricultural areas and settlements belonging to more than 50 villages within the use area. It has also shifted from a single species focus to include a wide range of endemic and threatened species, such as the leatherback turtles, dugongs, and long-beaked echidnas. Involving these coastal communities in conservation action, whilst providing sustainable economic opportunities, has been a critical step in ensuring the long-term sustainability of the youth conservation area.